Text Prison Story Family Salute. Y'all, it's your boy Tim Snow. Get this going over here. Appreciate everybody tapping in today, man. We're just going to talk about a topic here that's been in the news. I hadn't seen any YouTubers cover it, right? Let me get this thing shared out properly. Excuse me. All right, sorry about that. Yeah, so everybody always talks about prison booty bandits, right? It's a major topic. It's something that gets a lot of views on prison channels. People are curious about it, and it's a real thing, of course. But what I've never seen anybody talk about is the reality that there are prison booty bandits that wear uniforms and not the inmate uniforms. It's a real deal. As we see in this world, there's a lot of weirdos, a lot of perverts, a lot of strange people going on, right? And of course, the prison population, the employees are just normal people, I guess, so it's to be expected, right? One of the more famous stories on a Texas prison, I believe it was Gibb Lewis unit. There was a husband and wife. They both worked at the prison, COs. One worked in the daytime and the other one worked at nighttime. The husband, had a boyfriend on one of the cell blocks. He was having a romantic relationship with, right? This was a drag queen type inmate. Well, the wife, of course, heard rumors of it. They started telling her about what was going on because, if nothing else, inmates love to gossip. I don't care what you hear on TV or on here about them never talking about other people's business and stuff. Now, they love to gossip. And usually the grapevine isn't even right. But anyway, so the lady heard about what was going on. During night shift, she shook down her husband's boyfriend's cell, and she found a pair of her own panties in there. He brought his boyfriend a pair of his wife's panties to work so he could wear. Imagine how she felt. I've seen husbands and wives myself that work there and flirting with other employees, look like they're sleeping together, but you just never know. But that one was a real deal. They always talk about, I think at the same prison, the gang officer that was abusing inmates and then got caught for some type of child pornography or child porn, something like that. So TDCJ has had its fair of creeps and weirdos working there, that's for sure. And I'm going to interview some women, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, right? But this story is a little all over the place tonight because I did read an article. It's a few years old, but they did a survey of inmates that had reported sexual assaults inside of a prison, okay? First, you have to understand to actually, okay, this is live. To actually, must be doing a good job though, thank you. To actually report a sexual assault in a prison is considered snitching. It's ratting. Inmate code says you're supposed to deal with that yourself, right? And we have many, many cases of people saying they have reported it and they've been told to go back to the cell block and either get a boyfriend or fight. That's how a lot of the redneck officers in Texas will reply to you. So keep in mind that this is the small percentage of inmates that actually did report it, right? Believe it or not, there's a pretty good percentage of those sexual assaults committed by the prison officers. And this is men on men, right? Prison guards sexually assaulting inmates. Think about that. You're laying in your cell by yourself because they moved your cellie and you was wondering why. And in the middle of the night, here comes this country boy or this big black guard or who knows coming in telling you to bend over. Only thing you can do is get an assault on an officer in about 10 more years. And they know it and they do it, right? But nobody really cares about that too much. Everybody says, them guys probably deserve it, right? I've actually did videos where people have been victims of gang assaults, sexual assaults, multiple rapes. They've been forced prostituted, all of that. And the general consensus in the comments is, oh, well, you do the crime, you do the time, right? And I get it. I get it. But we say all the time that they don't sentence you to prison to be tortured, to be raped, to be assaulted every other day, right? They send you to prison. That is your punishment, to be removed society. But recently, what's happening now is there's a big scandal about it happening to some women in federal prison. And the states have always kind of did what they wanted to do, and the inmates always hope that the feds come save them, right? Well, this is a federal institution. That's it's kind of a big deal. The FBI has raided the prison. They've arrested people, all kind of stuff. Let me see. I didn't have excuse me, I didn't have the article pulled up, but check this out. The warden of a troubled federal women's prison in California has been ousted months into his tenure as FBI agents on Monday hauled boxes of evidence from the facility in an apparent escalation of years-long investigation that put a former warden and other employees behind bars for sexually abusing women. How do y'all feel about that? I mean, is it to still F them? They did the crime, they got to do the time? Or are we upset about women inmates getting raped and getting violent? Y'all let me know in the chat. I'm going to pay attention to the chat. I just wanted to get the video laid out. Davina, what's up? Artie, salute, man. Rainey, Derek Mallory, man. Jesse, what's up? Bev, I see you. Satan, a.k.a. Carter. Okay. Smoking, what's happening? What do y'all think? Let me know. Is y'all think it's taken more serious because it's a woman that it's happening to, or are we just not caring? I don't know. Do you think, Derek, look, he says it's a whole different situation when it's a guard. I don't know. Do you think so? What's different about it? I mean, it's literally the same sexual assault. It's the same humiliation, the same power trip, the same possible transfer of STDs, all of that type of stuff. But I believe it should be taken a little bit more serious, right? If it's the prison guards doing it, because they're the ones that are over top of you. J Ro, what's up, baby? Salute to that Pasadena. Yeah, it's bad either way. That's what I'm saying. But I think this scandal is happening right here. FBI raiding the prison and all this type of stuff because it's women. It's a been known factor that it happens to men constantly. And it's a known factor proven by statistics that prison guards themselves do it. So, I mean, I really don't know. It's kind of, see, we try to talk about the things on the show that show you this is not the life you want, right? Here goes something else that we never talked about, young men. You might get sexually assaulted by a prison guard, not just an inmate. And I think that's true to a big extent, because first of all, the general public doesn't care. The general public looks at criminals as a threat, which they are, especially violent criminals. So they prefer them out of sight, out of mind, right? And I think a lot of people, whether it be outrightly or secretly, wish that we get punished, tortured and all that type of stuff in prison. KK, that's a good question. You know what? I've heard many jokes about people using bread bags for condoms, but I don't actually know if that's true, right? Maybe a rubber glove or something. Would a rubber glove even do the same thing as a condom? I'm not sure. I do remember it being a big controversy. Some prison system, they were passing out condoms, and they said that was actually what do you call promoting sexual activity or whatever. Did I ever run any Tango Blast in prison? Yeah, they're everywhere. Of course I did. I mean, so not make the fee, but I mean, like for a condom, Fifi's one deep, right? You don't need any protection for that. That's all you, unless somebody's holding it for you. I hope not, but I would think, uh, yeah, I don't know. Imagining taking it up the rear with a bread bag for a condom. I imagine that probably hurt. Man, that makes me want to laugh. I'm sorry. Damn. So I would tend to say, nah, they probably don't. Since inmates in prison will share needles like with no problem, I'm pretty sure they don't worry about STDs. That's something I never had. Why would I even know that, right? No, so I don't know. I can't believe somebody asked that. Why would you ask me that on a live video? Man, yeah, a rubber glove will break easy. Come on, cut it out. Bread bag probably bust your guts up. Trash bag, that's so thick you're not gonna feel nothing. Then ain't. Come on, y'all. Let's talk about something else. Give me another topic. That's crazy. People getting pregnant. Oh, women prisoners. Yeah, but there's probably men prisoners getting pregnant too. So I didn't know. You know what I mean? But yes, hell yeah. There's that one guy on the East Coast. He was some type of big gang leader, and he had multiple prison guards pregnant at the same time. You didn't hear about him up there? They were bringing things into him. They were arguing and fighting over him. He was the man. Like he literally had everything he wanted in prison. I doubt they really look good though. Rod, I don't know. I talked about it before already. If he makes parole, he still has to wait in line and go to a 9-month sex offender program. So he's definitely not getting out this year. I think he comes up in October. So usually takes about 90 days to get your answer. Then I don't know. I think about 6 months to get into the program, maybe 90 days to get into the sex offender program. So, I mean, October is the 10th. I don't know, probably like July 2025 if he makes parole, I would say. Thumbnail's crazy. Hey, yeah, yeah. I didn't know if y'all pay attention or not. Most female CEOs are built like SpongeBob. Man, don't do the women like that because most of the male CEOs are built like SpongeBob too. Yeah, Pancho V been out for a long time. A long time now, probably 10 years already. Hey, I think that's who I'm talking about. Look, he said in Baltimore City Jail, he got 9 different guards pregnant. Yeah, that's who I was talking about. Detroit female rapper Boss. You mean Boss used to rap with Spice One and now? She was actually from Dallas. I thought. Yeah, Tommy G been out a long time too. One of his baby mamas has been my friend since we were little kids. Nah, Bean isn't getting out. Bean got life without parole. That's a rap. That's crazy too. LeBean was actually talented, man. He had a future ahead of him. He had raw talent. If he'd have got somebody with some refinement on him, with a professional record company, he would have blew up. Sure would. But hey, that's why most rappers that make it ain't real, and the real rappers don't hardly make it. You know what I mean? Look at the rap game, right? The rap game that got the rapper that got all the indictments and turned out to be the one putting people in body bags and all that is the one that was wearing dresses and calling people babe. Young Thug. That rap game shit is twisted, man. Salute to Vayuko, man, to the homeboys down south. Used to go to Alamo all the time when I was a kid. Time ago, that's crazy because I used to be a TDC guard. Yeah, you ain't lying. Say there's some rumors right now. There's a TDCJ rumor page, I guess you call it, and they were reporting on some different inmates, or not different inmates, different guards. They were talking about a lieutenant and a CO on Beto had been seen in public furniture shopping, and they're not allowed to, have relationships with other employees. What was the other prison? This page is literally reporting these people's sex lives. It's crazy. It's a disgruntled employee. Man, I ain't gonna lie. That's been like a couple years ago, man. And Savage had two channels. I believe it was probably on his first channel. You might be looking at his second one. No, I didn't hear about him in San Antonio. Hey, Derek, my homeboy is one of Scarface's best friends, man. My homeboy Mike, they kick it real tough, but I don't think Spice One is his real cousin. You would have told me that already. But they're definitely friends, though, for sure. Mike, shit, Mike and Face are so cool. Face took him to one of the World Series games with him. And Mike's daughter is the white girl that's in that little flip video where he's rapping about church and God and all that. There's a little white girl that starts off. That's my homeboy's daughter. Man, it says Snow, what's good? But it don't say who that is. It just says Facebook user. Yes, Vice One got an interview on Donnie Houston podcast. I got one on there too. That's the only time I ever really told my life story was on Donnie Houston podcast. What's up, BB? Yeah, I don't know why I don't say your name. Look, it just says Facebook users. My homeboy BB. It's his birthday today, y'all. Boy, it's 30 with 39 going on 80. Old ass. Man, Flip, I ain't gonna lie, Flip ain't never not been a freestyle king, honestly. Ever since he's been young, like a teenager, been murdering them freestyles. Gotta give it to him. For real. Yeah, Donnie Houston show's cool. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, so that plaque thing was kind of BS, right? Because Flip and them had the plaque made for Flip and asked Screw to hand it to him. Like Screw didn't make that plaque and give it to Flip, any of that stuff. The plaque said, I think, Sucker Free Freestyle King. And me and my brother was actually in the club that night. That was on the St. Patrick's night. St. Patrick's Day Connections 2000, I think. Rod, I really don't like Mexican OT too much. He's a little bit too extra for me and a little bit too much on SPM, man. He already got where he needs to be. He might well leave that dude alone. Yeah, but regardless, though, it's gonna either be Kiki or Flip to me. ESG, they call him all freestyle kings. Though I ain't gonna do no picking. Raphael, what's up, man? I'm just tapping in. I got a few days off from work, man, so I figured I would just hop on a little live. I usually don't drink too much, but the last few nights, not the last few nights, but last few live videos I did, I was sipping on a 12 pack. I had about Man, I had about 7 or 8 on an empty stomach, and I'm not really a drinker. I was loaded on that live, and as soon as I finished the live, I was in there throwing up, head in the toilet. Woke up next morning, same thing. Yeah, you know what, man? So that's cold about ESG. But let me tell you something. People that pay attention need to realize them drugs ain't good, right? Man walked out, stepped out right into traffic, tripping. Can't blame nobody but himself, and that's all he blames. But damn, man, life altering incident. Grown men probably shouldn't be doing that shit. So I don't know. Wayne, when Zero first came out, he had that "Look at What You Did" album to me, and Bam was the one that put him down with all that. Bam from Killer Clan, and Bam's first cousins are from Lamarck, man. I grew up with them. And we had that very first Zero album. That Look at What You Did to Me before it ever hit the store. And I tell you what, we was loving it, man. I had one of them. Y'all remember back, if y'all old enough, remember the cassette tape days when you dub your homeboys dub, and it's got all that air in it. Yeah, I had that very first Zero before it ever hit the stores with it with a bunch of air in it. Still used to listen to it every day. Shout out down south, man. We got some few Vayuco in here. That's what's up, man. Money bag. We're just freestyling. We might get to something else, man. Listen, Pistoleros are still around. Yeah. Yeah. And the feds too. You know, a lot of the Hispanic gangs are, well, most of them all are slammed down in the state, but they're strong in the feds, the Texas ones, because the federal agents themselves are so active in South Texas, right? That's where everything gets smuggled through. That's where like all the people come through, you know what I mean? So the feds are strong in South Texas, right? What do you say? You ain't hard, come to Florida prison. Man, I don't want to go to no prison. What kind of dumb comment is that? Boy, you win the stupid. Look, what's your name? Danny Salt. You won the stupid comment of the night award so far. Congratulations. Your prize will be coming in the mail soon. Weirdo. So I really ain't got no beef with Florida though. He's trying to make me have one. I wish I lived in Florida. I wouldn't go to prison though. I'd be on the white sand beaches looking at bikinis. Weird. Oh man, I don't know how I ended up here. I ain't gonna lie, y'all say I'm almost 5 years in YouTube, wondering how the fuck I got in here too. Like, where'd this come from, right? I never intended on being no YouTuber. I'm a truck driver. So yeah, we done with prison. Yeah, I'm a truck driver and I learned how to weld. That's how you stay out of prison. Think about that. I'm an 8th grade graduate. I ran away from home at 14 years old, stayed gone, but I got a Class A CDL with endorsements, no wrecks, no tickets for 16 years, and got NCCR numbers in welding. So I do okay. And I got almost 70,000 subscribers on YouTube. So appreciate you being here, goofy sucker. Yeah, he can go back to the joint. If you are a big fan of Florida prisons, what are you doing free on YouTube? Go get in line for chow and turn your boxes in, Buster. Hey, Catherine, how you doing? Zam fam bam. Salute, man. Hey, so these lives have been fun, right? Hey, so I ain't gonna lie, it's been a bunch of trolls in here, man. I let them go for the most part, right? My cell phone is on the floor. I don't know if any moderators are even in here. I don't even see any moderators' names, so um, I'll just let them ride. Keeps it interesting. PC, the whole bid. PC, the whole bid. I don't even know what to say to that. All right, well, if you think so, that's what you want to say. People, y'all smoking. You had a wrench. It's cool. I got a. I'm on StreamYard right now. I can't even do it. That's what I'm saying. So I just let them rock, right? Because in all reality, all comments help the algorithm. So the more that the people view and comment, whether they be trolls or whatever, then the deeper the video goes, right? And then more people will start watching. Kind of gives me some entertaining distractions or whatever. Many stories as I told on here, and as many people as I done brought on that done time with me. Somebody that says I did my whole bid in PC, they just never watched the channel. Well, that's cool. I don't feel like arguing though. Calico 45, salute. Definitely had a couple of them before. Man, I'll tell you what, all these youngsters into them new fancy things, but in my day, I was 1911 45, big old heavy sucker. And then I had a couple of the mini 1911 A's. Boy, I love them things. They had the side by side too. That sucker be about that big. Man, I appreciate that. King Anthony, what's up, man? You seen I was over there with Rascal yesterday. One bad bird salute. Yeah, anybody's gonna be nervous. You know what I'm saying? All they're telling you is you gotta fight a couple people, but they don't tell you who you're gonna fight, what they look like, how big they are, and then you gotta go do it in a little bitty cage. You know what I'm saying? What I went to the joint for, man. The first time I went to state jail for possession of a controlled substance, and I had a firearm. I went to TDC for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and retaliation on a witness, and I went to the feds for felon in possession of firearm. That's my 3 little trips. Said no, I never been on Blood on the Razor Wire. He's been on this channel before though. Shout out to Chad Marks. He came super chatted a couple bucks the other day. That was cool. It's cool when you see another content creator show some love. It don't happen too often. Ooh. 128K to the IRS. How does that work? Will they start garnishing his paycheck? Will they like take money every week, or they just take his taxes? Man, Jesse, I'll tell you what, my first chain ride bus from Galveston to Huntsville, they handcuffed me to this white dude from Texas City. I'll never forget. I ain't gonna say his name. This dude had the worst breath of any human being I've ever smelled. Man, he smelled like a rotten carcass. And he's literally, our hands are chained to each other, right? And I'm like, man, what the F is going on right here? And I look over and the dude's mouth is bleeding. I'm like, what? Literally blood just dripping out this dude's gums. And I'm like, oh my God, no wonder he smells so bad. And at that point, man, I just looked the other way. Well, what's crazy is I'm on the inside, right? I really want to look out the window, but looking up his way, it stinks worse. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Them chain bus rides are something else. Like if you got to ride anywhere on a little back road or whatever, they go so fast. It's unbelievable. Like these chain bus drivers, they're either ex NASCAR drivers that are hella talented, or your life is in danger in every moment. And there's many of them that have flipped, crashed, and hurt people. I'm knowing they're not NASCAR drivers, right? Yeah, Jesse, man. So the ones I see passing by now, you know, the new chain buses have tinted windows and air conditioners. Now the ones we used to ride on were literally the worst of the worst. They were just like inject. I don't know what old reject school buses or something. I don't know what they would use, man. They were just so broken down. It was crazy. Bleeding gums, Murphy, man. Y'all cut it out. I hope he don't watch this, right? Because he knows who he is. So you're on this back then. Yeah, you're on this hella hot, bumpy bus with a bunch of musty dudes. You got to get in those jumpsuits, put on your little prison shoes that don't fit. And if you have to use the restroom, the only thing to use the restroom in is there's a little square tank in the front of the chain bus, and it has a molded toilet seat on it, right? And that thing is directly next to somebody's seat, like somebody's knees is touching this deal. You got to go over there and handle your business standing up, facing the men right there. Like, you better not be shy, that's for sure, because you're going to whip it out right there in front of them dudes. You're going to get to Holiday. You're going to be butt naked. I said this in one of my very first videos. When you get to Holiday, I know when I was there, and they told me it's almost always like this, that it's the homosexual inmates that greet you at intake, right? Like they go, you got to take off your jumpers, you got to squat, cough. They'll tell you to grab yourself, raise them up, run your fingers through your hair, stick your tongue out, and all that. So while you're squatting, coughing, and raising them up and bending over and all this, you got these homosexual inmates watching you, like welcome to prison. Then they put you in these big cages. They're like big dog cages and cyclone fences, but that fence material is heavy duty steel. It's not like a fence at home, right? You can't bend this by hand or anything. But this is set up by design now too. Listen, so they have a searcher's desk, they call it, right there, where when I went through, there was 2 or 3 black women sitting there. And when you go to pee, the toilet is in an orientation in the cell in the corner where you have 2 choices, right? Your only 2 choices is to whip it out and face all the men, burn them up and disrespect them, or whip it out and face the guard ladies. So when you whip it out and face the guard ladies, because that's the right thing to do in this weird, strange situation and weird world, you expose yourself to the women instead of the men, right? Which nowhere else you would do this, but the women sat right there and humiliated every single man that pulled it out. Every man that every man that peed, they're making fun of him, calling him little, saying he's not packing nothing, calling you Mighty Mouse. They're calling you all kind of crazy names, right? And you could be probably hung like a horse, and they're just having fun humiliating you. So that was strange. And when you finish that, you got to go get an intake haircut. The intake haircut is usually something like just a gap job, especially if you're white. Oh man, there was not a white barber when we went through, and they're literally leaving you with just patches and strips. You might have 2 mohawks and a big patch in the back. You know what I mean? And they're just laughing the whole time. It's crazy. The exact same intake process in Holiday was the exact same intake process in Pam Lynchner, also same thing. What's going on in these comments? Sad, I think coughing does make it shoot out. That's the whole point, right? That old thing gets to winking back there when you cough, and unless you're Wes Watson, it's coming out. That's what I don't understand. No, I don't want to start no beef with California or anything, right? But they always talk about walking around and carrying knives in their prison pocket. Thank you for the subscribe, Rihanna. So they talk about their prison pocket. Somebody else called their booty their prison shelf before. And I'm wondering, how do they get away with that, right? Because everywhere in Texas you go, you squat and cough. I mean, everywhere. If you come out of your building, if you're going to school, you got to get out of your clothes, line up on the wall, squat, cough, shake your clothes out. Coming back from school, going to your job, whether it's the fields, coming back, medical, anywhere, you're squatting, coughing, and getting naked all day in Texas prisons. That's just facts. Unless you don't leave the cell block, that's what's happening. So how do they get away with it? Do they not strip search these people? Appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, no. So they're talking about literally putting it inside of their body out there. And so I've heard of, there's trustees, outside trustees, and stuff like that. I remember one time I was somewhere, I can't remember where, they had a road crew, and they would go out and pick up litter and stuff. And that road crew, they would have stuff dropped off to them, and somebody would put it up their rear and bring it in. And I didn't ever see the package, right? But I'm assuming it was big because they were bringing in a lot. So I don't know. Is Jay Williams locked up? Oh no, you said prayers. I thought it said freeway. Jay Williams. Yeah, I think Jay Williams. So I heard that he's going to do a year. I don't know if that's day for day or whatever. Evading arrest in Texas is a state jail felony. Mexicans from South America. Hey, you know what? So people got offended and mad. I clipped them shorts out of Kryptonite talking about that, talking about them checking and doing crazy stuff to the white people when they showed up to Clemens and Ferguson and all that. A lot of people came in the comments and said, "Man, I've been there before. That didn't happen." Nah, yeah, it was really happening. I was in the '90s, before Safe Prisons Act, before PREA, all that type of stuff. And if you watch that entire video, he says, of course, there were white guys that made it, but they would have to prove themselves. You know what I mean? My big brother went to Central Unit in 1992. Right off the bus, just getting there, two guys jumped him. Yeah, yeah. Say, man, I need to figure out how to reach you, man, so we can talk about that. I want to talk to you about Ferguson Unit back then, and of course the caper and everything. Everybody wants to hear about that at that time, so that'll be a fire ass video too. Jay Morant. No, I'm not. If I was, I would probably not be ashamed of it though. Shit, I'm ex-convict right here, eighth grade graduate. I admit that shit. I ain't got no problem with it, but no, sir. No, I was never in Brownsville. Huntsville, man, like 2005, I think. Yes, I like Facebook, man. Facebook has more interaction. IG is almost zero interaction, man. I don't know. I never did quite get into IG. Now, so I I did pass eighth grade, but the only reason I passed eighth grade because I was in alternative school and everybody passed. All you had to do was show up and you passed. So other than that, I'll probably be a seventh grade graduate. KKK, no, the KKK is not a gang. There are probably KKK people in gangs, but no, it's not a gang. Man, I think I follow you on IG. I just haven't been on it in a long time. Anytime I post anything on IG, I'm actually live on IG right now. So I'm live on my personal profile on Facebook, the Texas Prison Story page, the Texas Prison Story group, live on Texas Prison Story YouTube, Texas Prison Story Twitch, Texas Prison Story Twitter, and the Texas Prison Story Instagram all right now. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're streaming to 7 platforms right now. I was going to try to do it to Rumble, but I couldn't. Davina, I'm not sure. Honestly, I have no idea. Yeah, what's up, man? Appreciate it. Real live, old school support team right there. Yeah, it tells me what platform people are on for the most part. Since I don't really Instagram too often, there's probably nobody even watching on Instagram. Maybe 2 people watching on Twitch. I mean, every single person that I know is on Facebook personally. Probably nobody watching on Facebook. That's just how it goes. But 90 something people watching on YouTube. So I do it on them platforms just to do it. I don't know. SPC Garza. Yeah, I just uploaded that video with Bam. He just got sent over there to McConnell Unit. He dropped that book. Where's that book at? Damn it. Oh, it's right there. Hold on. Let me grab this book. I'll show you. So I'll say a disclaimer, right? This man here is definitely a convicted murderer. He robbed somebody. He robbed 2 men, killed one, and shot the other, right? I'm not promoting him per se as a great guy or anything like that. He's a human being, and he's now turned his life around on the inside. He no longer participates in gang activity or any of that type of stuff, but it's too late, right? What do we tell y'all? This is not the life you want, because you don't want to be the person that gets saved in Ad Sig for the rest of your life with no parole. you don't want to be the person baptized behind bars. You know what I mean? So it's kind of messed up. But yeah, he's on McConnell right now. Most dangerous gang in Texas, whichever one you mess with at that moment, probably they'll all do the same to you. Man, so the gangs in Texas is so big that major cities here very, very rarely interact, right? You can grow up your entire life in Houston and never interact with somebody from Dallas, San Antonio, Austin. You might meet a couple that moved or something like that. So most of the gangs are like local type shit, bothering each other in the same neighborhoods and all that. Then when you get inside a prison, now it's totally different. Said, I think it did work in California, if I ain't mistaken. I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I talked about that before, but it's been a while. California and Texas just have a different population, right? They have a real liberal population where they believe in human rights, even for the prisoners. I was watching a video one time of the guys on the California death row, and they said to them it feels just like another general population. They were on the yard lifting weights, playing basketball, handball, all that type of stuff. And they said they have no fear of being executed on their death row, right? We hear videos and stories about them stabbing people, taking people out, and nothing much happens. Here, you're gonna get a life sentence, shit, death penalty. Yeah, for real, Jesse. Every part of Texas, people are different, man. The people out in West Texas have a totally different swag, different vibe, different slang. They listen to different kind of music, everything. It's a it's a whole different world in South Texas, Southeast Texas, North Texas. Is it hot? Yeah, of course it's hot. What do you mean? Yeah, they record temperatures inside of some of the Texas prison cell blocks upwards to 130 and 140 degrees. Y'all, hold on. I'm going to get something to drink. Y'all don't go nowhere. 130 to 140 degrees sometimes. People die every summer. You have prison guards falling out, getting heat strokes. Hell yeah, it's hot. Now they do have some. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm thirsty. Mouth dry as hell. They do have some small prisons that were ex-TYC units that have AC. They have what they call cool beds now, where it's not supposed to be over 85 degrees. But yeah, the maximum security facilities are hot as hell. Yeah, got me some milk. West Texas is, so I don't really know any black people from West Texas. The white people are pretty country. The Hispanics are more like Los Angeles. If you want to know the truth, if you meet some Hispanic people from El Paso, you'll swear they were from LA. Hey, Carl, salute, man. Listen, if you spent 8 years away from home, that was bad enough. That's the worst part of being in prison. Carl, tell me this: in the UK, what is the quality of food over there? Like, do they feed y'all terrible? Are they feeding y'all food that says not for human consumption and all that type of stuff like they do us? Or are y'all actually getting enough calories and eating something good? I think from what I've heard and watched on TV, the politics among gangs in California and Texas are the biggest difference. Yeah, so the big difference between that and California, the gangs control everybody. Here, the people that aren't in the gangs don't have to listen to the gangs, right? the gangs here control themselves, and the men that aren't in the gangs control themselves. In California, everybody's basically like a robot for one or other gangs. On the Hispanic side anyway, the whites are controlled by one gang, and the blacks in California are just split up a bunch of ways. So it just depends. And I said it before too. They talk about the no hands policy in California, but I never even really clarified that that's the whites and the Hispanics, right? The black dudes still throw hands out there, like probably not as often as in Texas, but they will throw them. So give them that props for that. Damn. He said healthy and nutritious. Are you kidding me? So they recommend a 2,000 calorie diet for an adult. That's basically for a non-active adult, like 2,000 calories if you sit on your couch all day. And man, there's times in Texas where you'll get two boiled eggs and a bologna sandwich 3 times a day. Maybe with some broccoli in there or something. Davina, thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, when you go to chow, it sure feels and looks more like about 800 calories, right? Definitely not nutritious. And it almost always tastes bad too. Appreciate that membership, man. Thank you. Been a long time member. Marco, that VitaPro, right? Did anybody ever figure out actually what was in VitaPro? And yeah, of course, you can go solo. A lot of solo men, black, white, and Hispanic. A lot of my story is about being a white crip in prison, right? But that wasn't me going to prison and joining or no shit like that. I was already one when I got there. See, there's a lot of men who are already part of something, whether they're Latin Kings, Bloods, Crips, things like that. So they go inside, it's already still there. So it carries on. But there's a lot of men that aren't anything. And when they go in, they don't join anything. And that's fine. If there's some type of race riot going on or whatever, you still are expected to participate. Whether it's, whether you're a member of a gang that started it. How about that? A Hispanic prison gang can start a riot. You're Hispanic, you're still expected to go help them. So it's kind of unfair, but hey, what do we say? This is not the life you want, right? I'm trying to make it to Apple Tree. I just mentioned the whole rundown a little bit. If you rewind it, you'll see it on the playback. But I'm trying to get this thing up to 70,000 subscribers, y'all. I've been neglected the channel for multiple times. I mean, literally have went months and months without uploading multiple times. If you follow the channel, you see I've been a little bit more active. I'm not going to be working for the next couple of weeks. They're doing some repairs to the truck. And so I have a little time. And smoke them, no. I ain't gonna lie, no. So that was one thing when the Crip Walk came out. I think all Texas Crips was kind of surprised, right? Because we was always raised up that gangsters don't dance. And then it came through, we see all these gangsters doing dances. It kind of shocked us, but no, I never tried once in my life, I don't think. Daniel, what's up? Salute, man. No, they don't unsubscribe followers when you go without uploading. What'll happen is you'll demonetize if you don't make a video every 6 months. You have to have, I think it's 4,000 watch hours within every 6 months to actually keep your channel monetized and at least one upload. But I think like last month, I probably had 15,000 watch hours, something like that. So I can stay monetized just with one video every 6 months. But what it'll do is bad knocks you out the algorithm. Like YouTube will not, Rocky, what's up? Salute. It will not allow your videos to reach a good audience, good size audience or whatever when you're not uploading. YouTube is free to the viewers, but it's definitely a for-profit thing, right? Of course, they they want you to create content. They prefer you to make content that people are going to watch, that people interact with, and people watch for a long period of time. If you create a 2-hour video that people only watch for 30 seconds, it's never even got a chance in hell of hitting the algorithm, right? They want you to create something that's going to hold engagement, because during that time watching, that's when they run the commercials. So YouTube rewards activity to a certain extent. Like, you just can't put out 30 videos nobody wants to watch and expect to be in the algorithm or anything like that. But the more videos you release that people actually watch, the more they will spread it out, if that makes any sense. Henry Clark, are the Muslims in the United Kingdom prisons, are they black? Are they Arabic? Are they white? What race are the Muslims in the UK prison? The majority of Muslims here in the state prison, almost like all of them that I ever seen, were black. There's a very few white ones and maybe a Hispanic one somewhere. I don't know, but majority here are black. There were some Arabic ones. It's your boy. So people don't know this, or maybe they do. I don't know. But in the feds, Latin Kings were the only Hispanic gangs that I've seen that actually ran with the blacks. So their alliance in federal prison is with the Midwest folks, and so the folks in the People Nation ride together in the feds when they're out of state. So it'll be GDs, Latin Kings, Vice Lords, BDs, all of them in the same car. So that's where everything gets a little complicated. Hey, Miss Nikki Fernandez, salute. Man, we're just kicking it a little bit. I had a day off, and I'm off tomorrow too, so figured I might as well go live for a little bit. When I first started the live, I was talking about two of the Texas prisons. I don't even know if I said them right. Bill Clemens, and I believe it was a Stale unit, had two of the highest inmate rape rates done by the guards, though. Right? We're talking about inmates sexually assaulted by the guards. So that's crazy. They just actually, the FBI raided a woman's federal prison over them sexually assaulting repeatedly women inmates. And I was kind of asking people, since there's almost zero sympathy ever at any time of the men inmates that get sexually assaulted, raped, booty bandits getting them. Everybody always says, if they can't do the crime, if they do the crime, they need to do the time, and that's part of it, right? But do we still feel like that when it's women inmates? Do we believe women inmates should be sexually assaulted just because they did a crime, or is that not right? Carl, so they say that in all prisons, I guess. So the Muslims will accept almost anybody, right? And they're saying, and their reasoning is, once you take your oath to Islam, that you become a born again person. See, they actually practice their religion. When a Christian is baptized, he's still judged from the sins before that time, right? That's just how Christians are. If you did some foul shit as a kid and you get baptized when you're 30, they don't think you're a new person or whatever. They're happy for you and all that, but they still don't trust you. The Muslims take it serious, so they feel like you're born again and you're a new man. But what they will do is hold that person to a higher standard. Like, that person has literally zero wiggle room, right? No room for error, or he'll be the first one taken out by his other Muslim brothers. But that's always been a controversial topic here too. Not new news. Let me see. Talk to a woman who's been in prison and know they should not be out. Not sure what you meant. Sorry. I mean, Kurt, I'm just telling you what they say, right? I believe when you're baptized, you're born again Christian, but you're not a born again human. And when you become a Muslim, you're not either. I look at it in that direction, right? But that's what they say. Davina, man, I'm really trying. I'm gonna start doing some more videos too, content though. I told a story today. Make sure y'all watch the video that I actually uploaded. Well, last night I uploaded it about the first time seeing two men have sex in prison. And so a lot of people didn't click on that one, I know, because they thought it was going to be like some hot and heavy porno type action or whatever. But that's definitely not how I told the video, right? I told what happened, how it happened, and how I was feeling when it was happening. But I definitely kept it G rated. But y'all make sure y'all check that one out last night. Al Gore, what's up, man? Salute. Good to see you here. Apple Tree, you was thinking the USA is a democracy and had law and order. Guards doing that is just wrong. So yeah, we have law and order. This is America. They still punish you for when you're wrong, but it's more human. KK, no, hell no, it's not too graphic. I wasn't watching. I mean, I like wasn't doing the play by play. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, I got the impression when everybody could hear everything, like, was this dude putting on a show? I don't know. I mean, it's weird, right? But prison's full of big booty dudes nowadays, so not a surprise. I mean, Sad, what are you supposed to do? Somebody said something about a real one would have said something. No, they wouldn't. Are you gonna rip back the sheet and say, "Hey, you, stop having sex with that guy"? No, hell no, you're not. Guess what? When you rip that sheet back and go, "Hey, you, stop having sex with that guy," they're both gonna stop having sex, get out and stomp your ass out, and then go back to having sex. You know what I mean? That's just is what it is, right? So you might as well just mind your business, period, because that ain't your business. Now, if they didn't try to at least do some type of hiding, then that we everybody would have had a problem with it, right? Any crash dummy stories? Shit, man, million of them, a million of them. I had to think about it, but so many. Where were the guards? The guards aren't in there with you, so the guards were in another. They have a little picket area, they call it, which is a little guard shack in the middle. It's a square, so it's a roundish looking deal with glass all around it, and they can look in four dorms at one time. But it was at night. Guards probably asleep. Man, DS, yeah, hell yeah. There was one. There was a guy from first grade on who you could tell what had feminine traits, characteristics, and everything. And that dude fought from first grade on all the way till he shot somebody, and he's doing a long time in prison right now, probably beating people up, embarrassing the hell out of folks. No, so that's it's prison, right? There's two things nobody wants to lose a fight to in prison. That's a homosexual inmate and a white person, and that's honest to God facts. If a inmate loses to a homosexual person or a white person, that'll be a black or Hispanic inmate. They're totally embarrassed. Just how prison goes. Lucky Loco, where you from, man? I don't recognize that name right there. You from Texas or where? Y'all drop y'all's location in the chat. Let me know where y'all watching from, man. Drop your city and state for me. I'm definitely paying attention. You know what? I've been really enjoying these lives right here where I get to interact with people and get to actually participate. It's pretty cool. So everybody that has been watching, everybody that's been commenting, participating, man, I appreciate it. Kansas City, Missouri. That good barbecue over there, huh? Vegas. Hey, Smoking, when they say Big Apple, is that always New York City? Or can that be New York State too? Okay, shout out to Oaktown. Too Short was my man when I was a kid. Yeah, look at that. Don't look at nobody's cell. I did too. I learned that lesson in the county, man. I was walking past somebody's cell in the county. He was in there greased up, butt naked, greased up, going hard. Fort Worth, man. Salute to Amarillo, Orlando. That's what's up, man. A bunch of people in here. Okay, Richard, I've never seen it. Native American entrepreneur. That's what's up. Barbara, what's up? KK, I know where you're from. Marshall, Texas. Hey, that was a cool cat in the feds that was from Marshall, Texas. He was the one that was kind of speaking for the whole East Texas card for the black dudes. Real cool cat. I don't even know his name. We called him East Texas. The funniest thing I seen in prison? Well, I don't know. So that I do remember being on lockdown in a dorm, and we were paying the broke inmates to do crazy stuff. So there's not a lot of funny things that happen in prison, right? We would have good times and shit, but that's considering the circumstances. But there was a guy named Big Chris from Beaumont. Big Chris was probably 500 pounds, probably like 6'2". He was real obese, walked bad and everything. And Chris was a Crip too. He was a 5'9" Hoover from Beaumont. But they weren't messing with him, right? I don't know. So this was back before we had cell phones and all this shit. You couldn't just look people up that easily. But I had them weirdo vibes from Chris, right? I wasn't sure. But it was Chris and maybe two white dudes and two Mexican guys that were just broke as hell, starving. And we paid Chris, I remember. So if you've ever heard that it's supposed to be impossible to drink 10 glasses of water straight, right? Or 10 cups of water in a row. Chris was so big that he thought he could do it. We were going to give him and it was like $15 or some shit if he could do it. If Chris couldn't drink the 10 cups, he didn't get nothing. I'll tell you something, man. He got to about 8 coffee cups of water, 9 cups of coffee. He almost got there. His big ass got up and ran fast for the first time probably in his whole life. Ran back there to that toilet. And luckily, in prison, toilets are right next to each other, right? His big self was sitting there having diarrhea on one toilet and throwing up on the next toilet. That was a sight to see. I mean, he almost so big, he almost got to the 10 and got sick as hell. We felt bad for him, and we ended up giving him a soup and a meat pack or something because it was so violent. Another guy, what did he do? Eat a whole jar of mayonnaise in 20 seconds or something. You know what I mean? It was weird stuff like that. So some of that was kind of funny or whatever, but man, I don't know. So when I seen people fail, it's never been funny to me, right? I've seen crazy stuff where people, hold on a second, where people do goofy stuff and get caught to where you might kind of laugh at them, but at the same time, it's messing people's lives up when they mess up. I've seen guys get so high that they just flip out, get themselves caught. One guy got so high he ran up to the guard and gave him the dope. Thought he was gonna die. About 15 minutes later, he's handcuffed coming down. Now he's tripping like, what happened? Uh, Seeing people flush their stashes, break knives, do all that kind of stuff when they were never getting shook down, just paranoid. Yeah, there's been a lot of crazy stuff. I'll have to think about it a little bit more, but that's what I say. So I wouldn't call none of that funny, right? I've seen goofy stuff. I'm gonna save some of that for some more stories because I'm gonna get active. As I said, I've been neglecting this. Let me see how many subscribers I'm at right now, y'all. So if you support this channel, you support the movement where we're trying to tell these kids, these young, not really kids. So I'll say that all the time, right? If you're under 18, you can't even watch my channel. I have it said like that. But if you're a young man, young woman that's borderline out there, then that's why we do this channel, right? We do it for the people that don't know what they have in store for them. So you get down that road, you can never say you didn't know what to expect because we sat here and done Texas prison stories for almost 5 years, and it's your fault for not looking if that was a possibility. But I appreciate everybody, man. If you really support this channel, there's 3 buttons on the top of the screen right now. If you're watching on your phone, you hit them 3 buttons and then tap the thumbs up. That means a lot, right? When you see me upload a video, hit that thumbs up, drop a comment. If you have a Facebook, share the video out to Facebook, stuff like that. Not only are we on a mission to, raise awareness to this is not the life you want, right? Because that's all this is about. We're also here helping me, a single dad. So I don't even know how else to put it, right? This is something that I've created, I've pushed, I've tried to keep on a certain level of respect, keep it professional, but also keep it raw, tell the truth, but something that everybody can watch. But yeah, I am a single dad, and it does make a couple, but it don't make a lot. You know what I'm saying? It might make a couple $100 a month or something like that if I'm lucky. But that's not ever why I've done this. You know what I mean? I've only done this for the right reasons. And I believe that's why God has blessed me and why it keeps growing and everything else, and the haters and the weirdos in the comments, the trolls and all that type of stuff, like that's small shit to a giant, right? I mean, you got to think about it. The people that hate and troll the most are 9 times out of 10 wannabe YouTubers. They're people that try to have channels. Their competition is not successful, or they're just straight miserable people. So, in our reality, and when I see weirdos, trolls, and shit like that in the comments, I feel sorry for you. Your life sucks. Like if you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube harassing people, dropping weirdo comments, lying, doing strange shit, then man, you're just miserable. Like you have no, so I won't say you have no intelligence, you have no people skills, right? Or you'd be talking to a friend right now, or wouldn't be doing that lonely, strange shit. So I don't know. Yeah, sad they can, but the reason my channel is set for 18 plus is for YouTube reasons, right? Just for the simple fact that it is a prison topic, and we might talk about something tonight like guards sexually assaulting inmates and things like that. I just leave it like that, right? It's just better. If you don't check that, the only other option is made for kids. Not made for kids or made for kids, right? This is definitely not made for kids. And 5B10. You know what? So I don't know if you're being funny or not being funny or whatever, but I'll be honest, right? Like, no, I'm not the happiest person in the world with everything. But I'm not miserable. All my bills are paid. My daughter is healthy. I'm literally a single dad that with all bills paid. You know what I mean? I'm a commercial truck driver. Like I said, I can weld. I'm about to hit 70,000 on YouTube. Um, I can't think of any like big luxuries that I have in life, but I can't think of anything that I need, if that makes any sense, right? I'm just chilling. Like, so I get that you were trying to be ironic, but I'm not a smiling type of person. Hell no. I've been doing this 5 years. Probably nobody's ever seen me smile, but I'm fixing to be 44 years old. And very few times in my life did I smile. This is what it is. Some people fucking smile and they're friendly. Man, so the only thing I can't do is TIG weld. I never learned to TIG weld, right? Stick, MIG, and flux I can do. But I never learned TIG welding. And when I went to welding school, I went to welding school in the Federal Halfway House. I went to the only, yeah, right. Uh, I went to the only all day welding school. Like it was 8 hours a day. And I learned real good. My teacher was named Levi. He was a young white guy, and he was super good at teaching, super cool. But so when I went to welding school, I made it clear to them only after I got in there, right, or I wouldn't have got accepted, that I'm still a truck driver. Like I'm never gonna try to go get a welding job unless something, unless something in life changes and I have to. The reason I went to welding school because I wanted to be able to fix things on my own truck. And I actually had a dream of starting a roll off dumpster repair business. But by the time I got out, the prices of metal and everything was so crazy at that time that I just kind of gave up on that idea for the moment. But I might still do it one day because more and more people in this area are getting into these roll off dumpsters, and there's very few people. There's a lot of welders, but there's very few people that do that, right? And I'm actually, yeah. So I spent three years, my first 3 years coming out of the feds, driving roll off trucks, and the dumpsters that we had were older. A lot of them were beach dumpsters and all kind of stuff. And the man that was repairing them was teaching me how to do it, right? Not necessarily teaching me how to weld, of course, but teaching me the tricks, teaching me the easy ways and the less expensive ways to repair it, patch them, things like that. A lot of it common sense, but when you're trying to make money right from the start, you don't want to have much of a learning curve. So I would spend time with that guy on the clock. APT 420. Do you really want one in your bunk? That's a weird thing to ask. No, it's all good, KK. Don't worry. It's cool. I don't care. That's why I say these trolls, I'm cool with these miserable, weird people. The strange thing about a YouTube troll is 9 times out of 10, they always come with something sexual, like a sexual innuendo. Can't even talk. I know I'm an ugly ass dude. What about me makes you look at me and thinks anything sexual? Or are you just a weirdo by nature? When people are anonymous, especially their real national, thank you, their real true soul, right? Their real true self literally comes out. Look, prison wallet. See what I'm saying? So this is somebody who is trying to tell themselves they're joking, but they're all the way serious, right? They have some type of weird prison sexual fantasy fetish or whatever. And I mean, it's easy to commit a felony and go get what you're looking for now. You ain't got to joke about it. You can have the real thing. Elijah, so that's a prison slang, which is disrespectful. I don't even like saying it, right? Because I don't have anything against them people. I even have a couple of my family that I love, so I don't really like saying that P word, but absolutely that's the word that you'll hear. And that's a word to demasculate them, differentiate them or whatever. But yeah, John White. There's another word that they saw. I never heard that word until I started talking to people on the East Coast and the Midwest. But yeah. Yeah, so I guess too, I say this a lot, right? YouTube, YouTube, if you've been to prison and you've dealt with being locked in a box with 200 men, plug, what's up, plug? You've been locked in a box with 200 men with these weird personalities, different races, different upbringing, different everything. You shouldn't get on here and be sensitive or weird about trolls and shit like that, right? You've literally dealt with enough stuff in your life that you ought to be at least hardened slightly. Your buttons shouldn't push that easy. New Age Pug, what's up, man? Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my homeboy right there, the New Age Pug, and the YouTube Streets Podcast. He spells YouTube Street Podcast, UTUBE. Plug, type in the YouTube Street Podcast, and I'll pin that comment for a while so they can find y'all. I've been on YouTube Streets Podcast myself quite a few times already. They do, I don't know what you would call y'all's channel, like a blog podcast type thing that deals with prison content creators. Basically, if they catch a prison YouTuber doing something dumb, they're gonna call them out, and it's entertaining. Hopefully, I'll never do nothing dumb, and they don't have to do it to me. But you never know. Now that's sad right there, honestly, and I mean that, right? So mental health is a real crisis in the United States of America. We know that, right? It's something that seriously affects a lot of people, and it's not, at least in Texas, not really taken into account of your crime. What they call it, temporary insanity and all that. I've never heard of that being successful in Texas. If you're off your medication, if you're bipolar, schizophrenic, and all that, and you're off your medication, or you've never been medicated, and you rape, kill, rob somebody or whatever, you're under the same penalties as a person that was not dealing with them things, right? And we have maybe once talked about it, but Texas has something called the MROP, which is not politically correct anymore. It's their name, but it's called the Mentally Retarded Offenders Program, right? They have two prisons, I think it's Jester 4 and Skyview, that are both totally mental patient prisons where they're suicidal. They're the people that can't function, people that are, I think, all the way into vegetable state at those places, right? And the crazy part about it is one of the highest sexual assault rates by staff is in those mental prisons. Think about that. Yeah, man, California is way ahead of us on human rights and all this. Oh, man, are you serious? Thank you. Man. So check this out, James. I really appreciate that, my brother. I really do. I was just saying that my truck is down at work. I'm gonna be out of work for a couple weeks. And so the pressure of being a single dad, right? I talk about the 50 years. The pressure of being a single dad is not something that bothers me. It's not even something that, it's something that motivates me, right? Like, you can't fail. When you're a single dad without much help, there's no room for error, because no matter what dad's got going on, no matter what's happening at work, no matter if I'm feeling happy, I'm feeling sad, if I'm depressed, I'm going through it, she don't care. And that's not disrespectful to her. She's 5.5, right? All she knows is she likes Slim Jims, she likes pizza, she likes Subway churros, wants to buy a new movie on YouTube. Karate is due Monday. You know what I mean? So that 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 responsibility is a lot of what changed. So I won't call myself changed, but it's a lot about what made me straighten up. It's what made me eliminate a lot of friends and stay to myself and everything else. But when somebody does something like that, James, and there's been a few recently, it does mean a lot, man. It really does. Because sometimes when we do this, we deal with so much BS, really, like the trolls that were just in here a minute ago. You deal with so much BS, so much negativity that you really appreciate it. It's not even the fact, like $50, man, that's amazing. Trust me, that's like so cool, so much love that somebody will take something like that out of their pockets and say, here, man, thank you, right? That is flattering. $1, $50, 99.99 somebody sent one time. It doesn't matter. It's that awesome feeling that you know what you're doing is appreciated. And that's why I thank you, my man, for real. I hope that came out right because it kind of tripped me out to see that. But that's what it is. So it's when I see the same names in here, like I'm seeing right now, Davina, this member, I got about 50 members now. It's awesome. But I say all the time too, is I don't want anybody sending me anything if it's taken away from anything in their life though. You know what I mean? Like, please nobody send me even 10 cents if you have a bill due. Please nobody send me 1 penny if your tires are bald. You know what I mean? Like, we all have our problems in life. So I never ask, man, but I really appreciate it. Thank you. No, what's up, D Shep? Yeah, thank you, Charmaine. Sarah, what's up, Sarah? Yeah, so I mean, the deal is, right? I always said I didn't want to have kids, and Snow was one that was never going to have kids. And kids didn't. So, man, I always thought a child was going to be a burden. Like, the day you have a kid, life is over. You know, that old ball and chain reference, right? I felt like I was going to be dead in the water. But that's just not how it turned out, man. It really turned out to really be a blessing. Like, when my daughter is happy, she wants to show me and tell me why. When she's sad and cries, she wants to hug me and tell me why. You know what I mean? If she falls asleep at her family's house, she's crying for her daddy. She's waking up looking for her daddy. She depends on her daddy. And you know what? She never, ever feels like her father's going to let her down, right? And that's what I'm proud of. Like, it's not good to spoil a child, and I don't, but I've never let her down one time in her life. And hopefully I won't. And if I ever go back to prison, that will not only let down her, that'll let down my mother, my father that's still alive. You know what I mean? Everybody that watches. So this channel gives me a lot of accountability too, right? When I did the video talking about Jay Williams went to jail, if you watch that, I started off saying, I know when I'm doing this video, I'm going to do it respectfully because I know full well that could be me in that situation someday, right? I still live in the hood, which I'm trying to get us out of here. One day I will, but shit happens. You know, there's times you go to your car and people are literally fighting outside. The neighbor on this side killed his cousin not too long ago. I was doing a live. Were any of y'all in this live tonight, in the live the other night when the neighbors are yelling, screaming, fighting? See, all of this shit, I got a little beautiful baby girl around, and she's oblivious to it because daddy keeps her feeling protected. Nobody bothers us. You know, everybody respects me and they respect her. But that's where I feel like a failure as a father. But I'll get it together. You know what I mean? I will figure it out. I really will. But I'll tell you what, since I've been a single dad, I have so much more respect for the single moms and, of course, single fathers. But as we know, of course, there's more single women out there. And I really don't know too many single women with one kid, right? I'm not trying to judge women here at all. Like, most of the single moms I know personally have 2 and 3 kids, 4 kids. And that's unbelievable to me. Like, how in the hell can you manage 4 kids by yourself when one don't want to listen to you? When my daughter don't want to take a nap or don't want to go to bed at night, it stresses me out. Like, come on, man, it's time to lay down. I couldn't imagine 4 kids wiring each other up not to. You know what I mean? Or having 3 kids, one of them sneaky. Man, it's that's hard. So when men cry and complain and bitch and moan about prison, no. The real life out here is harder. I seen where they had a thing on, what prison unit was this? Maybe it was used unit, right? I'm not sure. I seen it on Facebook, but they had a deal that it was a seminar, I guess you would call, or a little group meeting thing they were doing where they were trying to teach these men the importance of fatherhood, how important it is to be a dad. Now, I don't want to be too hard on these men, right? But damn it, if you need TDC to teach you how important it is to be a dad, then they probably don't have no hope of teaching you, right? You're just getting another little certificate for parole because that's all them bullshit ass classes is about. If you didn't feel that in your soul when you held your child, no dumbass TDC teacher is going to be able to teach you that. And I've seen it firsthand. You know, women that didn't care about their kids, men that didn't care about their kids. It's pretty, it's pretty sad what's going on. You know, because we did have a time in America where there were families, black families, white families, Hispanic families, and now I know where I'm at. There's single mothers of all races and colors, all ages too. And shit's just not gonna be right. So things start getting better, right, Annie? So she said it. She's commenting on Facebook. She said it's not so bad once you have a few of the older ones to help entertain the younger ones. So that is the one thing right there that I didn't think about when I was just talking. The one challenge of being a single dad with one kid, right, is I'm 100% her playmate. I'm 100% her uh, dad, friend, playmate, everything. Like when we're home alone, you're 100% of that child's focus. Like she'll watch TV and want me sitting next to her. Don't go in the room, daddy. Don't go there. Right here. Like she wants to be right under me. And that gets overwhelming sometimes. It honestly does. But it's cute. That's what I'm saying. And I realize there's a time where she'll want to go in the room, shut the door, and not deal with daddy. You know what I mean? So I'm enjoying it. I'm old enough to appreciate it while it's lasting. Hey, King Anthony, man, don't worry about these weirdos. So when you tell somebody that's a weirdo, don't be a weirdo, that's like telling a white man don't be white or telling a black man don't be black, right? They can't help that they're weirdos, bro. Now we can pray for them that they'll stop being weirdos. You know what I mean? But I ain't heard of a miracle happening since the Bible days, so I don't know. People are just strange. That's what I said, bro. So listen, those people keep it fun too, right? I've been live for 90 minutes just kind of freestyling. And I'm kind of look forward to like when they come in with that abyss. See what I'm saying? So I missed that one, right? I won't even like repeat that. Y'all are weird, man. But anyway, check it out. Texas Prison Story family, I need y'all a favor. There's three dots on this vertical stream stuff. If you're watching on your phone, right? Hit them three dots, hit the thumbs up button. If you're watching on a computer or whatever, TV, you already know how to do it. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button for me. And y'all show some love, man. Share the channel out. Much love to everybody. RIP Mr. Larry, Free Saucy D. And I'll catch y'all later, man.